Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on today's episode of Innovation Unplugged. I'm Julie Frizzell, Executive Director of the ACCS Innovation Center. And today we have some very special guests with us. We have Rendell Drummond and Jaxon Lawrence from Living Free out of Falkville, Alabama. So we're going to get to know these gentlemen today, a little bit about why they're here and how they've been connected with our Skills for Success program with their facility. So I'm going to turn it over to Rendell and let you tell us a little bit about who you are and about Living Free. And then Jaxon, let you follow up and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So, yes, I'm Rendell Drummond, the director at Living Free Recovery in Falkville, like you said. I opened up February of 2012. So, been doing it for a while. We're a program, a substance abuse program for males. We focus on learning how to live a life in the community, live a life sober. Mm-hmm. A lot of our guys, have never washed clothes sober. A lot of our guys didn't have a lot of basic skills. Sometimes they're lost in the grips of addiction. And so we try to focus on the things that are going to help men be successful long term. The old saying is getting sober is the easy part, learning how to stay sober, that's the more harder part. Right. So, yeah, we just focus on that. We're a 9 to 12 month program. A lot of our guys, if they come to us at 12 months and they say, hey, guys, we're not hardly ready, that's okay. We just want to try to focus on the things that are going to make them to be successful long term.
Wow, that's impressive. Mm-hmm. That seems like you have a passion for helping others. And maybe what got you started with this?
I do. So I'm a 15-year IV drug user. Was a 15-year IV drug user. So I got sober in May of 2011, mm-hmm. And so came to Birmingham, got sober in a program, a wonderful place called ALR Sober Life, and so I thought that I was going to live in Birmingham forever. That's where my recovery community was, and anyways, without telling you the long story, I got the opportunity to rent a little small church that my parents used to be a part of, and church had closed down and whatnot, and so a friend of mine asked me one day, what it is you think God wants you to do with your life? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'm the happiest when I'm helping somebody else. That's when I feel the most true mm-hmm. joy in my heart is if I'm helping another drug addict. So anyways, long story short, I moved in this church. I put a bed in what they use for a closet. Mm-hmm. And I got a friend of mine called and said, hey, I heard what you were doing. Can I donate 7 beds? And
oh, wow.
So turns out that's how many beds I needed. It's how many bedrooms we had. We're 7 exactly. And
that's amazing.
And then it just blew up. Mm-hmm. My phone started ringing from people that I knew that said, Ren, I heard what you're doing. We've got some towels. Mm-hmm. We've got wash rags. We've got bed sheets. And so it just took over. It just really, it blows me away to even think about it back then. And so we started out, and 11 years later, we've got a new campus. We're really close now. We're a couple months away from a new wing being added on, so we'll be.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Great.
We got 19 bedrooms now. When they get done, we'll have 29 bedrooms. Wow. And it's about 9,000 square feet facility the Lord has blessed us with, and so I got great staff now. Got great guys. Jaxon is one of my. I tell everybody in the world he's more like a son than anything. I wouldn't trade him for nothing in the world.
That's sweet.
I got a family. I got a wife and kids now. So God's really blessed us.
Wow, that's amazing. I love to hear that. And it sounds like everything just kind of fell in place the way the Lord wanted it to be and to help you create a program to help others. So that's amazing. Jaxon, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I am 24. I'm still young and been out there for a while, not knowing how to live, like Rendell said, not knowing how to grow up and be a man about stuff. But I'm so thankful for him for showing me the way, for just showing me how to do normal things like go to work and wake up and get in routine of living. And it took me a couple tries, but this place planted a seed in me that once I did get it, I just kept going with it, and my leadership abilities became stronger, and I started helping. And like him, I had that passion to help people, and I still do, and use it every day.
Wow, I love that. I think you've seen that probably in an example of Rendell's service and leading others and helping serve others as well.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we're excited to have y'all both here today. And I think one thing that when Houston told us about you all and the impact that you're making there in the community and helping serve others and really bringing a sense of hope to the community of somewhere that can help them recover and to help them find the skills that they need to be successful in life. And so tell us a little bit, Rendell, about how y'all got involved with Skills for Success and with Miss April at Wallace Hanceville and how that program kind of came into place to help your residents as well.
So I got a call one day from her, wasn't expecting it. And she called, she told me who she was, and she said that Houston had gave her our number. And of course, when she told me who she was and a little bit about what she does, didn't tell me the real impact at this point yet. And of course, we're always open to anything that we can add to our guys' schedule that will help their future. And so we set up a meeting, and she came down and she took a look at our campus, and she told me a little bit about what you guys do. And so, of course, me and my wife, we just, I had to go to the bathroom, I think, and cry. I mean, it's just such a big deal. And so she looked around, and we set it up, and then sure enough, I think we had a little bit of a break there. She had to have some surgery or something done. But as soon as that was over, and then the instructor came, you guys have been there ever since.
Yeah.
And so it's been truly a blessing. I was telling you earlier the impact that when you give guys these guys, when our guys come in, and like I said, they got a full schedule, and but when you can add something like this, we have dreamed of this all these years. My wife she's even made some calls and tried to set things up and at different times, but we've always prayed for something like this, for something that we could help give our guys not only some tools and to succeed in life, a trade or, all the different things you guys offer, but what it does for them on the inside.
Right.
Because, drugs and alcohol takes everything away, but it takes everything away from their inside, what they feel about themselves, how they look at themselves in the mirror, all of those things that impact their future. And now that we have something where they can tangibly say, hey, you know what, I may not have to work for minimum wage the rest of my life.
That's right. Yeah.
There may be, and there are actually people in this world that are willing to help me, that doesn't look at me as if I'm not worthy anymore. And so our guys, sure, they all got a pass. So do I. But when we were talking about earlier this morning, me and Jaxon, we were looking over the numbers. We haven't had one single guy in the last 3 months that has left the program or, for whatever reason, relapsed or anything like that, that's been in your guys' program. Not one.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I believe
to hear that.
I believe with all of my heart, and it's 90 days. Some people, well, that's not that long. Yeah, but 90 days to these guys is a very long time. And so when we have they're walking around our campus and they've got this light in their eye that's, hey, this is where I'm at on my work. This is what I'm doing. We've got on-site training coming up this weekend, Mr. Rendell. They are just over the top because they've got something tangible to believe in. And what that does for them, for their integrity, for how their self-esteem, what that does for them is money can't buy that.
No way.
Money cannot buy that. And so you guys could ask me to do cartwheels on the roof, and I'd be doing it.
We'd like to get that on film, by the way.
I'm sure they would too.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would too. But I'm serious, though. I can't say thank you enough. I'd have drove to California if I needed to this morning.
Wow.
It just you could, if you could be there every day to see it, you would.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's very humbling for us as well, because I think, our passion with the Innovation Center is really to do something different that hasn't been done before through education. Number one, it's providing opportunities for skills training, for growth, for pathway progression in industry, but also that hope for just a chance to get a foot in the door somewhere, that now you've gained some new skills. Now you've got an opportunity to do something different. Like you said, maybe not a job starting at minimum wage. Now you can get into some what we call higher wage, high demand fields, and really see where that can lead you. And I love to see the passion, not just from you, but also that it's really something that it's contagious, right? So you can see that in your residents and the individuals that are there at your facility to say, hey, I know this is a good thing and I'm going to keep going at it, because it takes them contributing to continue to do the work, to continue to do the coursework, and then to actually show up for labs, right? Like you actually have to go through it and prove the skills that you've learned. And that takes time and it takes commitment on their part. And I know that's something that, potential employers look for. Did they take the time to go through a program that didn't cost them any money? Like they didn't have any money that they had to pay into this training. So I may skip today or I may skip tomorrow, but I love to see that they're so committed to getting through these programs and getting those credentials. So tell the audience a little bit about what y'all have offered already, which courses and how those have been going as well.
So primarily they have worked on, the initial kind of just to see where they're at, which is a really big deal, because some of our guys are at different places academically, right? And so being able, you guys, to spend a little extra attention to the guys that may not be where they should be academically, and you guys just meeting them where they are,
right,
is over the top impactful. So the big thing that our guys has been doing is the equipment, the heavy equipment. Jaxon has actually done, I think he's got one more piece of equipment.
Got excavator left. I've done skid steer and bulldozer so far. And
awesome.
that's, most of our guys have been really persistent and committed to it, and, just been glad for that second chance. So they're
I love it.
getting it done quick. I think a lot of our guys, 3 or 4 so far, have got going to get their OSHA. And I think we got one trying to do fiber optics.
Yeah.
That's great. So what have you thought about the training so far?
I loved it. I was so nervous about it at first, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
But once I got there and met the trainers, they're so cool, so laid back, and encouraging.
That's great to hear. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna piggyback off of him too, because they tell me, because I hadn't been in the field with them on the weekends, and so they come in talking about the instructors, how they just met them where they are, how they were kind and respectful, and those little things, like you said, all these little things go together to make an impact on the individual, and
That's right.
and when you can do that for one, and then that one does it for their kids, and so on. Each person is, just think about in my own life. I got sober and what the impact it's had on the people around me. My wife I'm married, and she's never seen me do anything. So, we pass that on.
That's right.
These things, the training, the heavy equipment training, he will be able. He's going to get married one day in the name of Jesus, and he'll pass this on to his children. Even the training and all these things. It's just it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. What are some things that y'all are interested in doing that you haven't tried yet? Do you know, like some of the programs that are available or about to come on board that you could try?
Yeah, so I've been hearing about land surveyor
Yes.
and
Okay.
asphalt roller. And, that's something that when I first started, I didn't think I'd be interested in, but our teacher, Miss April, encouraged us to, try everything
That's right.
that we can. And I figured, why not? And I think the land surveyor would be pretty neat.
Yeah. That's a neat one, actually. I sat through our pilot program with that one up at Calhoun. Houston and I both did. And I was just amazed at how I thought that would be a very hard course to catch on to. I mean, it is a little more technical in some sense because of some of the equipment that you have to use. But again, the instructors make it so easy and so adaptable to someone who's not been in that field and understand the terminology and the tools that you have to use. So I think you'll like that one as well. It's a great course. And what you're learning already through the heavy equipment when you're pairing that with land survey, and you can go in and help survey areas those are some of the first people that come into a construction site, right? You got to survey the land, the topography of it all, and know where things are. And so we've had a lot of employers say, look, if we have someone who has these skills that can help survey on a survey team, but they can also operate heavy equipment, like that is a super employee to have because they have those multi-skills that can help in so many different ways. But yeah, these are great things that y'all are being able to offer, and we're excited to be a part of that. So what else do you want to share with us today about that program?
The CDL training, like you said, coupling with, because that's the background I have, and when you couple the CDLs with the equipment and being able to shoot grade and like you said, survey, when you put all those things together in an individual, he can make a living for him and his family, not just a living, a very good living from now on. And so as far as we're just thankful for you guys and all the time that you guys have put into this, all the time that you guys put into our guys. I don't know that we could ever can't put it into words, but proof's in the pudding. But I do want you guys to know how thankful we are for you guys, and it's not just. I just don't know. One day when we're thinking about our wing is probably 4 to 6 weeks from being done, so we're planning on having a big ribbon cutting and cook some food, and so we hope to have you guys down to look
awesome.
around
We'd
and
love to be there.
spend some time together while it's still warm before it gets cold. And just let you guys see and meet some of the guys that what this is doing for them. And when I can tell y'all, I can sit here and tell you all day long how thankful we are, but you really truly, when you meet them and you see that light in their eyes for yourself, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely.
For you guys. And it'll be fun too. We'll have some good food.
Oh, I look forward to that. That's exciting. And I think that's, what drives us every day to do these jobs that we do in education and workforce development. I spent a long time, a couple decades in the automotive world, manufacturing. And when I moved over to the community college system, that's the one thing that every day I would go home and tell my husband a story, like, hey, I met so-and-so today, and you may not know him, but, or him or her, but this is what we were able to do through some training today, and here's some opportunities. And I love seeing that. I think that's what drives us every day to keep being able to develop new programs and figure out what industry needs so that we can help make those connections and working with organizations. And I think that's what's been really impactful for us and our team is, there's a lot of ways that our colleges can just do an open registration and say, come if you want training. But I think it's also more impactful to go to organizations and say, how can we help serve? What can we do to partner together? And I love that Houston and April were able to connect with you all and say, here's some of the programs we have, what might work, what might not, let's see what's available. But again, it's offering that hope and opportunity for someone and to see them successful and to see that prolonged success continue on for generations is also what's exciting. We get to go to some of our trainings across the state every once in a while when we're able to, and I love to see that impact as well. So
It's what gives us the fuel, right?
that's right.
That's
It
why
does.
we keep coming.
It
When
does.
we keep coming to work every day.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't all bells and whistles and none of
No.
our jobs, right?
Yeah.
But the Lord gives us what we need when we need
Absolutely.
it, and we have to see those people that be successful. That's what keeps you and keeps us all going, right? Like he was talking about earlier when I recognized his heart long before he did, and his ability to lead and be a leadership. You know, great leaders show you what to do. They don't just tell you what to do, right? They show you what to do. So it's a big deal. We're so excited. So,
that's amazing. So Jaxon, tell me a little bit more about Living Free and kind of your role with the facility there. So what do you do daily? How do you help out?
Just kind of encourage all the guys, you know, you got this, we got this, I'm in it with you. Just tell my testimony pretty much every day, but just by being there and sober and sober-minded and thankful and, you know, just being like a brother to all these guys is what's probably my main role. We don't, you know, that's what sets us apart, I think, from a lot of places is that we are a family, huge family, and nobody ever argues. We're all just getting along together, and we don't have a huge turnover rate, you know, so the guys that are there, they truly want to be there because if they don't, you know, the door's right there.
Right.
And,
well, I think that's a testament to the program and the leadership that you all have there as well. Yeah.
And he does. He does more than he realizes. We also have a mowing crew. He's over all of that, so he loves it. He tells me because he gets generally the new guy goes to the mowing crew.
Okay.
And so he's over that, so he gets to spend the first couple of weeks with the new guy. He does. We do one-on-ones, but you know he tells me all the time that he really does. He spends more time with the new guys out, you know, in between yards or in between cutting grass because we have a part of our program where we cut grass for the community and we cut a lot of grass.
That's
and
great.
So he's over that, and then we'll have on weekends they swap up who's on duty for that weekend. So that you know some call it the house mom, so to speak. So there's they do that, and he also leads a Bible study one night a week for the guys. So he does a lot, but it just comes so natural to him that it's not like work.
Right.
You know, but I see all the work he does.
Right.
But you know when you love what you do,
it's not work then. Yeah,
that's right.
That's right.
That's right. And that's the role he plays. Not only he has the gift of encouragement. You know, some people just have that. Yes,
that's a very special gift.
That just makes you feel better when he comes in the room. And
I can tell that. Yeah, I see that
he does.
in you.
He's got that innocence, that honesty.
Right.
You know, and so all of those things, especially when you're going to be a leader at a substance abuse program, those are vital. Love and compassion,
right,
and how to show that in the right way, but also with some, hey, these are things that this is the way things has got to be, you know. But you can do that in love and compassion, right?
That's right.
I told him the other day, there's two different ways that I can achieve somebody's tail. It's through love and compassion, or the wrong way. Right? Now, which way is going to be more impactful?
That's right. Yeah.
We do it through love and compassion, then you generally have a lot greater impact. And so some people that comes natural too. And he's one of those people, thankfully.
Oh, that's amazing. I love to hear that. I can't wait to kind of see what the future holds for you, Jaxon, because I think you've got a great opportunity ahead of you to lead even more people. Yes. Not just in their daily walk with sobriety, but also in their walk with the Lord. So, no, I appreciate y'all being here. I know our time's getting cut short, but we have really enjoyed getting to know you I'm so grateful for Houston for his introduction with April and getting to know y'all better and being able to invite y'all here today to share your story a little bit more with our audience. And I'm excited to kind of see what the future holds with Living Free and to see some of our other programs that even Jaxon mentioned that might be impactful as well. So we've got a couple dozen more courses in the works right now in development, about 9 or 10 that will be piloted in the next 2 or 3 months.
Wow.
So a lot more opportunities to learn some new skills in different arenas and different
And
industries. So
we're growing too,
Yeah.
so it's all going to be perfect timing, right?
That's
God,
right.
God has
That's
perfect
exciting.
timing.
That is. Well, I appreciate y'all being here. Any final thoughts y'all want to share with the audience before we close it out?
All I got to say is, you know, you'll be surprised at what life has to offer you if you go out there and try something new, something different, get out of that comfort zone. And I think this is one of those things, and very impactful.
Wow. Thank you. What about
And
you?
we're just thankful. We're grateful for you. We'll be glad to come back anytime, answer any questions, spend any amount of time with you guys that you would like for us to.
Well, thank y'all both for that. We love that. And we probably will be calling upon y'all to do maybe a feature story, a success story from some of your students, and really encourage other people. Like you said, try something new and see how you like it, because it may surprise you, right?
Amen.
So,
Amen. Amen.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for being here. We appreciate y'all driving down to Tuscaloosa today, and we are going to switch over to another group on Zoom. So appreciate everybody listening in, and hope you have a good afternoon.
All right. Well, we are back again. We've had a little switch from the previous group ahead of us earlier. I'm Kailah Dozier. I'm the Director of Marketing and Corporate Partnerships for the Innovation Center, and I have 2 guests with us this afternoon. I have April Metrock. She is an adult education instructor for Wallace Hanceville and has been doing some phenomenal work. And have a special guest with us, Jeremey Sturdivant. And he is the Director of Programs for Royal Pines, Jimmy Hale's Mission, and Jesse's Place. We are so excited to have you both on today. All right, well, we'll get started. Jeremey, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, what your heart is with all the different ministries that you're a part of. Our audience goes far and wide, and different people within the workforce communities are listening. So we want to give you a microphone to kind of share your story and your mission.
Okay, just a little bit about me. I'm just a God-fearing, I like to say young man, who has the pleasure and the honor of serving here at Jimmy Hale Mission and serving God's people. I think that we here at Jimmy Hale Mission just centered around really Christ-centered, driven, to show love to people that need a helping hand, whether it through life skills, sobriety, or just a place to stay and rebuild their life going forward. As you know or may not know, we've been here for a long time, and it's pretty well known in the community, but it's not about the name or the face. It's just about what we do for people and what we can provide. We do here at the Men's Center, we do provide a 15-week treatment program here, and we offer them educational assistance, many amenities or resources that's thankfully the Wallace and April have done a great job at helping us provide different avenues and resources for them to rehabilitate. We feed them, and it comes from a lot of great people out there that probably listen to you, your viewers, trusting us with the money that God has blessed them with, and grants, and just a lot of great volunteers.
That's beautiful. Thank you for all the work that you do, and just the commitment you have to your community, and for April to see that need and just be a part of serving your community. So April, tell us a little bit about how you got plugged in with Jeremey and his group through the adult ed program.
So when I initially started at Royal Pines, we were doing ACE.
Okay.
And Jeremey was a counselor when I first started there. And it was good, and the guys enjoyed it. But it just was missing something. And so when Skills for Success became available, I started asking them, I was like, would you let me try this? Can we try this? And they let us give it a shot, and it has just exploded. I mean, the guys love it. They look forward to the trainings. They're studying all the time. And they really, truly have a blast, and it's really changing some of their lives as far as the opportunities that it is presented for them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Jeremey, tell us a little bit about the programs, the Skills for Success programs that you've offered to your guys there.
Okay, well, the Skills Success program is amazing. I can't thank Wallace enough for what they do and what they have provided. The Skills for Success program pretty much deals with Microsoft computer skills, resume building, skid steer. Correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember all of them. Hotel hospitality. It's just so many. Diesel boot camp. She even did construction management. Oh my gosh, it's the list goes on. It never stops. And then, we're just fortunate to have somebody like Wallace and April and her team. It's another one that comes when I can't remember her name right now. I think her name is
Sydney and Caitlin.
Sydney, I'm sorry, yeah. Sydney and Caitlin. We're just fortunate to be in partnership with them because they are always hands-on. They're always resourceful. They're always looking to add something to the repertoire of what these guys can do. And as she shared earlier, these guys' lives are impacted. We're with their help, we're impacting families and generations to come. As you know, once you change a person's ability to do more, not only do you change the confidence or the spirituality in a man, but you also change the ability for them to produce and create wealth for their families. So you're not just impacting one's individual spirit or their abilities to progress in society, but you're changing a dynamic and the ability for a family to grow and experience different things in life, which in changes the culture or a community, which impacts the world.
That is truly moving, honestly, and we are so thankful to be a small part of supporting you in what you do and just giving these guys and girls another opportunity and another option. Our slogan at the Innovation Center is training our state for the better. And everything that you just described, even as in worldly things, obviously making life better, but the spiritual aspect is truly what does change a man, their heart, that gives them a purpose and what drives them this side of heaven, honestly, to do what they do, and gives them that hope. And this is why we bring you guys on to the podcast, just to share your story. And you're seeing it every day. You live it every day. And so we're glad to be a part of that. So if there is any testimonial or story that you have that you would like to share, we want people to know how these individual lives have been changed.
Definitely. I can share, countless, but one that always sticks on, probably my personal favorite. He's one of my first clients. I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem. And he would have actually been on it had he not been at work. Was Mr. Bradley. I remember Mr. Bradley coming in, and he had no projection or vision to go to college. He would always say, Mr. Jeremey, I couldn't do that, but with the help of inspiration with people like April and Sydney, as well as the other young lady, forgive me, I'm missing your name, but you're just as important, inspiring them and helping them to develop the tools that they already had and making them conscious of their ability. This gentleman was able to complete his associate degree in diesel technology. And then he was able to land a job at a reputable, I don't want to give him any sponsorship, but a reputable dealership that was providing him on the job training to get him to the next level for he can explore that field of endeavor. And he was able to land a nice place to stay and provide his family with things that he had wanted to give them in the past, as well as repay them in areas that he had faltered on before in the past. So it was just awesome just to be able to see him walk across trades and see something come to fruition that he could never even fathom that it could be possible.
Yeah.
That's just one testimonial. I can also, man, I will never forget. He is deceased right now, but you guys gave this gentleman so much hope in his life. You guys put him on a commercial by the name of Mr. Humphrey. Probably one of my favorite guys. I watched him change from a hopeless individual to a hopeful individual who was able to model that hope and pour into other people before he left this earth. And he was just advancing in so many ways. And I know he had the opportunity for his grandchildren to see him just be producing in that magnitude. And that came from Wallace. That came from you guys, people like you. Every day, April loves to pour into the gentleman endlessly. I have to tell her to stop sometime, but I don't want her to have something left for her family.
Yes, absolutely. Gosh, that's why we do what we do. We all do different things, but ultimately we want to be a part of changing lives. So that's incredible. In my lifetime of being a part of Skills for Success and the Innovation Center, I think I remember when one of the gentlemen who were going through your program by the name of Marvin, I can't remember what the exact words that he said on his video, but basically he said, I have no hope after his leg was amputated, and he basically was like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't want to do anything else. But then this skid steer program came across as an option, and he stood in front of that skid steer and said, I can do this. Watch me.
Yeah.
And just that video, I told our team, I was like, y'all, go look at this. And that truly is what kind of introduced me to getting to talking to you, April. And so it's things like that we get to see little snippets of, but you guys are in it day in and day out. And so, April, give us some examples of just how, being a part and being in partnership with Royal Pines and Jesse's Place and the Jimmy Hale Mission, how has that affected just the culture and the morale of your workplace, knowing, yes, you're giving them tools for success in a career, but it goes beyond that. Is that what drives you?
It really is. And Mr. Humphreys that he mentioned was originally started as one of my GED students.
Wow.
And he kept saying, you need to come to Royal Pines, because he came to my class at Wallace, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, and he just kept on, and he was like, we need you to come. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So he was definitely special, but one of my first clients is now an employee at Royal Pines, and it's Mr. Earl Jackson, and he will forever be special to me. But when I first met him, he did not want to be in that class at all. And he did not want to have to learn a computer. He didn't want to have to do anything of any sort. He said he was retired. He had no plans of working, and what was the least amount he could do. Yeah. And I was like, what? And I said, okay, fine. Let's get started as to what can I help you with? Because I thought if I can just get him engaged, maybe we can go from there. And he was like, well, I don't know how to use my insurance. Can you teach me how to use my insurance? And I said, yes, but we're going to do it all through the computer. Long story short, he had glasses, and one lens had no lens, and the other one was cracked. And I was like, how are you going to be able to read when your glasses are broken? And he said, well, I'm blind in this eye, so this one doesn't matter, the one that didn't have a lens. And so I was like, well, let's get you glasses. And then we started working to try to get him glasses. And that led to Earl really taking the initiative after first off, he was never going to work, right? And now he is staff at Royal Pines. He loves helping others, and that led him to helping set up a program with, I believe it's America's First, but now 2 guys a week that come in that do not have glasses, can get glasses through a local eye company because I helped him, and it made such a difference for him. He's wanted to pay it forward and help others as well. But the funny story on that was he didn't know how to talk to the insurance company. And so he was trying to talk to the lady, and he was like, here, just talk to her. And the lady was like, well, does she have authority?
Right, like I
to
can't give
talk
her
to-"
this information.
He goes, she's my daughter. And
Oh,
so
my
we've always
goodness.
joked now that, I mean, he calls me his
Yeah.
daughter, and I'm like, I call him dad, but I'm like, I better not get any of your medical bills.
But in experiences like that, you do become family,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like shared experiences bring people closer together, and what an incredible way to do life together
Yes.
of giving them opportunities.
And so with Earl, he has decided that he wants to go back to school and he wants to help. So he's going to do the mental health tech that's
Love
coming
it.
up.
Love it.
And then wants to roll the mental health tech into CNA so that he can make it to MAC.
Okay.
And so
He went from not wanting to have a job
Exactly.
to now having a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, and then like even yesterday, there was a client named Blair, and he's a little bit of a jokester, but he's a good person. And Blair wanted to do all the heavy equipment. He was a great student. And he messaged me yesterday, and he's gotten a job with a big like a nationwide construction company, and
Wow.
is killing life.
Yeah.
And he just said, he said, I never have had this much confidence in myself. And I know I want better for myself than what I was giving. And he said, and that's because of all that y'all exposed to me and really taught me that I could do better. And so those stories really kind of keep you going.
Anybody. If it doesn't get you going, I don't know what can.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, going talking about skills for success, Jeremey, as you've seen your individuals go through these programs, is there anyone that stands out to you over the others that have been more popular? And then have you had any feedback that we don't offer that we could consider, or is there something in your area that we have not supported with a Skills for Success course yet? We're always looking for new things, trying new things, and just would like your feedback on that if you have any thoughts.
Well, I probably can't tell you which one is the most popular. Probably the CDL everybody loves and is jumping on, is probably driving crazy. But for me, I'm a mental health clinician.
Okay.
I love the fact that she's mental health techs. Mental health techs jobs are everywhere, and it's a growing field. And it breaks the stigma that is attached to mental health as well when they become informed of it. What can we add? I just leave that up to April. It's because I trust her much, and
Absolutely.
her staff, everything that we've needed, she always encourages the feedback from the clients, and that's who we're here to serve. God's people, those the consumers. I don't like to say clients, I like to say consumers. That we are in task of providing amenities or resources for. She always does her best in making a proper survey to enlist what they have and what they really would like to be engaged in. And that's what I think it's so positive, because people care, and she treats them as though they're brothers and sisters or daughters or uncles. It shows that we are all interconnected, and there's just one love, and then it's just God loves us all, and they just flourish. She plants the seed of love and increases their faith, and I think it's endless. So whatever you guys throw us, I'm pretty sure there's going to be someone that's going to grab hold and say, well, I think I want to do this. And then it just pours in. Just like you said earlier, I remember I had the opportunity to speak at one of you guys' commencements, and to see all of those guys from our program in cap and gown was, I don't know if it's breathtaking. It was astonishing. Words can really describe how great that made me feel to look upon that crowd. And to think, I too started at just people always talk about, the 2-year college. It starts there. And all it takes is just a little bit of light. You guys impart that's the ability to get a skill, you guys impart just a tad bit of hope, and you also let them know that somebody cares. And so if Wallace is not being the model, I don't know what is. I think people need to do the same thing. Like, know that your little bit helps in everything that you contribute, even if it's not a dime, maybe just your kind words, a pat on the back, or a push. It's duly appreciated from all of us. And again, it just pours over to everybody's family. It makes the world a better place. So I just commend Wallace for all that they do, and anything that you guys bring to the table, we're willing to take, because there's somebody here that needs it.
I would mention, though, that Jeremey has asked me about possibly some skills that were generated more toward female occupations.
Okay.
So do you know of any in the near future that might be I know women are welcome in all fields.
Absolutely.
But that might be a little bit more geared toward
towards
females.
Yep, absolutely. So we have a barista course that is coming out shortly, very, very shortly. We have a customer service course that's going to be piloted very soon, within the next month or two. We have a nursing support tech course, which will complement some of the CNA programs across the state. And so I would say those are the three that are on the top of my head right now that would fit some of the ladies that are interested in upskilling and getting a new skill. So we always have courses in development. I think we have 14, honestly, in development right now. So exciting times. We're moving as fast as we possibly can. But we're just excited to be able to give you guys a platform to share what you're doing, how you're impacting your community. And ultimately that affects our state and making our state better. So thank you for being with us today, Jeremey. Do you have any last words that you want to leave us with, that you want our audiences to know about what you're doing?
No, I'm just humble to serve. I mean, remember that Jimmy Hale here is always here to help you in any way, form, or fashion. We just want to be a servant to the community and the world. And to all of the other colleges out here, fall in line. Don't let Wallace be the only one setting the trend and leading the way, man. Get in line and help us push this place forward, push these people forward, push the world forward.
We have a lot of phenomenal colleges, but Wallace Hanceville is doing a phenomenal job. They have a lot of fun, and we're appreciative of them. But thank you both for being on today, and thank you for hanging in there for another episode of Innovation Unplugged. We are excited for a continued success in this, so please go like, subscribe, and follow on all of our social media platforms. Have a good day.